Welcome to the Victory Education Lounge. Today, we're diving into the significant connection between chronic fatigue syndrome, CFS, and insulin resistance. This is part 105 of our ongoing series on metabolic health. Before we begin, please take a moment to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and share your thoughts or experiences in the comments below. Your engagement helps us reach more people with this vital information. These two conditions are more intertwined than you might think, and understanding their relationship is key to managing and potentially overcoming the debilitating impacts of CFS. So what exactly are these conditions? Chronic fatigue syndrome, as the name suggests, is a long-term illness characterized by extreme fatigue. Insulin resistance, on the other hand, is a metabolic condition where your body's cells become less responsive to insulin, leading to elevated blood sugar levels. While these conditions might seem unrelated at first glance, research suggests that insulin resistance can exacerbate the symptoms of CFS, making it all the more important to understand how these two conditions interact. Today we'll explore how insulin resistance affects CFS and discuss solutions, management strategies, and prevention methods. Insulin resistance occurs when cells in your body don't respond effectively to insulin, leading to high blood sugar levels. This is a simple definition, but the reality of insulin resistance is quite complex. Our bodies rely on insulin, a hormone produced by the pancreas, to regulate the amount of glucose or sugar in the bloodstream. Insulin acts like a key, opening the door to our cells so that glucose can enter and be used for energy. However, in insulin resistance, this key doesn't work as effectively. The doors to our cells don't open as readily, causing glucose to build up in the bloodstream. This buildup leads to higher levels of insulin as our bodies try to compensate, creating a vicious cycle. So, what causes insulin resistance? There are several contributors, including a diet high in processed foods and sugars, a sedentary lifestyle, obesity, and certain genetic factors. It's important to note that while anyone can develop insulin resistance, certain groups are more at risk, such as those with a family history of type 2 diabetes, people over the age of 45, and individuals with certain ethnic backgrounds. The symptoms of insulin resistance can be subtle and often go unnoticed until the condition has progressed. They can include fatigue, hunger, difficulty concentrating, and weight gain, particularly around the midsection. The implications of insulin resistance for overall health are significant. It's a major risk factor for developing type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and certain forms of cancer. It can also contribute to the development and severity of chronic fatigue syndrome, or CFS. This is due to the fact that cells aren't getting the energy they need from glucose, leading to persistent fatigue and other CFS symptoms. By understanding insulin resistance, we can take steps to prevent it or manage its effects. Lifestyle changes like regular exercise, a balanced diet, sufficient sleep, and stress management can all help improve insulin sensitivity. Let's look at how insulin resistance can impact CFS and what we can do about it. Stay tuned as we delve deeper into this crucial topic. One significant way insulin resistance impacts chronic fatigue syndrome, or CFS, is through mitochondrial dysfunction. Now, let's break this down. Mitochondria are our body's energy powerhouses. They transform the food we eat into ATP, or adenosine triphosphate, which is the energy currency our cells use to function. When insulin resistance sets in, it can impair this energy production process, leading to fatigue and other symptoms associated with CFS. But here's the good news. There are ways to manage this. One approach is to focus on nutrients that support mitochondrial function. Coenzyme Q10 or CoQ10 and B vitamins are two key players here. CoQ10 helps in the production of ATP, while B vitamins play a vital role in various metabolic processes, including energy production. Another strategy is a gradual increase in physical activity. Exercise can stimulate mitochondrial biogenesis, which is a fancy term for the creation of new mitochondria. However, it's crucial to remember that with CFS, this should be a gentle and gradual process to avoid triggering post-exertional malaise, a worsening of symptoms following physical exertion. Now, let's look at an example. Meet Sarah. She's 42 and has been dealing with CFS. By incorporating CoQ10 into her regimen and slowly increasing her physical activity, she experienced a 30% improvement in her energy levels over 3 months. Appropriate management can lead to improved energy levels, as seen in the example of Sarah. Insulin resistance also promotes inflammation and can disrupt hormonal balances, both of which exacerbate CFS symptoms. At the intersection of inflammation, hormonal imbalances, and insulin resistance, we find a complex dance of bodily functions. Insulin resistance often ushers in chronic low-grade inflammation. This inflammation, like an unwanted house guest, overstays its welcome and exacerbates the symptoms of chronic fatigue syndrome. To manage this, one might consider adopting an anti-inflammatory diet. This could include foods rich in omega-3 fatty acids like fish and flax seeds, and a rainbow of fruits and vegetables. Stress reduction techniques such as yoga, meditation, or even a relaxing walk in nature can also help temper the fires of inflammation. For instance, meet John. At the age of 50, John decided to adopt an anti-inflammatory lifestyle. Over the course of 6 months, he saw his inflammatory markers decrease and experienced a 40% reduction in fatigue. But let's not stop there. Insulin resistance doesn't just fan the flames of inflammation, it also throws our hormones out of whack. Hormones are crucial for energy regulation, and when they're off balance, it can contribute to that overwhelming sense of fatigue that characterizes CFS. The management of these hormonal imbalances could start with a balanced diet, focusing on protein and healthy fats. Regular sleep schedules and stress management are also key. These changes can support overall hormonal balance and energy levels. Let's take Lisa as an example. At 38, she focused on balancing her diet and improving her sleep. Over a span of 4 months, her cortisol levels normalized, and she reported a 35% increase in daily energy. So, while insulin resistance may seem like a daunting foe, it's not undefeatable. With lifestyle adjustments such as a balanced diet, regular sleep, and stress management, we can help manage inflammation and hormonal imbalances, thereby reducing fatigue and improving energy regulation. Significant lifestyle adjustments can result in a reduction of fatigue and improved energy regulation, as demonstrated by John and Lisa. Impaired glucose metabolism and increased oxidative stress, both caused by insulin resistance, can lead to energy fluctuations and exacerbate fatigue. Let's break these down. First, glucose metabolism. Insulin resistance impairs the body's ability to effectively use glucose, the primary source of energy for our cells. This can result in inconsistent energy levels and can worsen fatigue symptoms. One way to manage this is through a low glycemic index diet. Foods with a low glycemic index release glucose slowly and steadily, helping to maintain more consistent blood sugar levels. Regular small meals can also help keep blood sugar stable. Next, we have oxidative stress. Insulin resistance increases the production of harmful molecules called free radicals, leading to oxidative stress. This process can damage cells and tissues, increasing fatigue and other symptoms. An antioxidant-rich diet can help combat oxidative stress. Antioxidants are molecules that neutralize free radicals, reducing their harmful effects. Foods rich in antioxidants include fruits, vegetables, nuts, and whole grains. Exercise is another important part of managing both glucose metabolism and oxidative stress. Regular gentle exercise can improve insulin sensitivity, helping the body use glucose more effectively. It also stimulates the body's antioxidant defenses, reducing oxidative stress. But of course, it's important to remember that every person is unique. What works for one person might not work for another, and it's always best to consult with a healthcare provider about any changes to your diet or exercise routine. Take the story of Mike, for example. At age 55, Mike was dealing with erratic energy levels and worsening fatigue. After switching to a low glycemic diet with regular meals, he saw a 50% reduction in energy crashes. He also started a gentle exercise routine, which helped him manage oxidative stress and saw an overall improvement in his chronic fatigue syndrome symptoms. So, while insulin resistance presents challenges, it's not an insurmountable obstacle. With understanding, careful planning, and management, it's possible to navigate these issues and find a path to improved energy and better overall health. Careful planning and management can lead to more stable energy levels and improved overall health, as exemplified by Mike. Ultimately, understanding the link between insulin resistance and chronic fatigue syndrome is key to managing and potentially improving your symptoms. We've explored how insulin resistance can exacerbate chronic fatigue syndrome through mechanisms like mitochondrial dysfunction, inflammation, hormonal imbalances, impaired glucose metabolism, and oxidative stress. We've also discussed several management strategies, including dietary changes, regular physical activity, stress management, and potential supplementation. It's important to remember that these approaches are not one-size-fits-all. What works for one person may not work for another, and your individual health history, current status, and goals should guide your choices. However, one common thread is the role of lifestyle changes. Whether it's incorporating more nutrient-dense foods into your diet, establishing a consistent sleep schedule, or finding ways to manage stress, these changes can make a significant difference in your overall health and well-being. Managing chronic fatigue syndrome and insulin resistance is not just about alleviating symptoms, it's about improving your quality of life. It's about taking control of your health and making informed decisions that support your well-being today and in the future. Remember, managing CFS in the context of insulin resistance requires a comprehensive approach. By addressing both conditions, you're not just managing symptoms, you're supporting your overall health and well-being. Thank you for joining us in the Victory Education Lounge. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Your experiences could help others on their journey to better health. Disclaimer: the information provided in this video is for educational and entertainment purposes only. It is not intended as medical advice. Any health-related decisions, especially those related to CFS and insulin resistance, should be discussed with a licensed physician or qualified healthcare professional.